This thing sucks. I'm sorry to say, Baza Prime sucks. But before we go ahead and talk about that, let's show you that I wasn't boosting anything via the shards, but I was giving it more base damage because it is so desperately in need of lots of damage. I was using Arcane Rage for that, which it's very easy to proc and maintain constantly. This is just armor from Corvex. I show you the pet, because I was priming a lot. But this time it's a little different, it's Doriga. And the Hellstrom is, the same as I've always used. Same ribbon. But look at that. Firstly, don't ever seriously use the regular Baza for anything. But look at how little it changes from regular to prime. That's it. Why is the base damage still 16? Are we supposed to kill the enemy with, malicious intent? I mean, the crit chance is good. The critical damage is phenomenal. But it ain't gonna do anything with 16 base damage. This gun needs to be reworked. It needs, honestly, 400 base damage would be nice. At least, 250. This gun is bad. I cannot in good conscience recommend this weapon to you in any serious manner. Now, if you just love SMGs and you don't care, you love the fashion, you just want to use it, be aware that you're not really going to be able to take it that far in Steel Path. And, if you still want to, if you just love the way it looks, and you want it viable enough, as you're mainly going to use it for a fashion piece, well, here is the build for that. We have primary Crux for, 300% status chance, and for 60% ammo efficiency, which is very necessary. The reload speed is actually very nice on this thing. Now we have this for punch through, crit damage, of course we have the corrosive, and the heat, and then all the galvanized mods, and vigilante supplies for the set bonus and all that. Now, before anybody says anything, I understand that this weapon can actually do a lot of work if, and only if, you are utilizing specific frames. If you are full armor stripping, if you're using an invisibility frame and spectral serration and all of that stuff, that is not what we do here. So you can go ahead and save your time, because I'm already well aware. This is a channel where we take the weapon and build the weapon itself, for itself, and to try our best to make it standalone, with occasionally using one or two Warframe Arcanes to help it out. But nothing massive, nothing where you are forced to use a specific frame, or nothing that you have to build your whole entire kit around. Because, honestly, if the weapon doesn't work, unless you go way far out of your way and change everything about the way you play just to make it work, it doesn't really work. And, like I said, that's what we do here. We just build the standalone weapon, so that way everybody can use it. In this case, I can't in good conscience actually recommend seriously using this and actually investing all the way in this, because it's just really shit. It is. I'm sorry. It just is. I love the way it looks. But the AX-52, the Jupiter, do far better. It's just not that great. But this build here that we're looking at, this is the one fun build I was actually able to put together, because with primary Crux, even though your reload is almost kind of instant, you're not reloading every 2 seconds, and you actually have a good amount of time where you're laying down heavy fire. This, for some reason, does better than the Deadhead and Acuity setup that I'm going to show you here in a second. This is actually fun to play with, in base Steel Path. This is enjoyable. It's not going to win any award, it's not going to do anything crazy, but somehow, some way, it's better than the max damage build I was able to make on here, where I hit, in the simulacrum, 800,000 on a red crit headshot. But again, Arcane Rage, it really is incredibly helpful for this weapon. But I'm going to go ahead and show you a clip of the gameplay of this and the Acolyte, so that way you can see.
Our operative is making progress. This will help our... support levels. Extraction is your best option.
And now that you saw that, let me show you this here. So with primary acuity, I don't know if it's still multiplicative with the headshot multiplier, it might be, but keep in mind here, this is 360 damage, plus more headshot damage. We got all of this stuff going on here, and we got all this to get orange and red crits, and basically everything else is straightforward. It does significantly more damage than the first build I showed you, or at least it seems to. And I'll show you a clip of this terribleness here in a second. Without primary Crux, you're reloading all the time. It's not very fun. Even though you do so much, theoretical damage, it's just not fun. It's not worth it. And this is with 360 bonus damage and a headshot multiplier. No. So I'm going to go ahead and just show you some of the clips for this.
Life support on the way.
Now that you've seen that, this is the other build where it doesn't have primary deadhead, so that way you're not reloading all the time, but it's not worth it. And as you guys know, I'm not exactly a fan of primary acuity, but I'm not going to ignore its efficacy. It's very good. It is very good. But even in MOT, right, where there's corpus everywhere, there's easy to headshot, quote-unquote, anti-MOA, and even the Grenier with their massive shoulders, like, everybody's easy to headshot. And it's still just not really doing that good. I'm not even going to bother showing clips of this, because it has 300% less damage. Like I said in the beginning of the video, if you just want something that's viable, and that you can occasionally have fun with, and you're mainly going to use it for like a fashion piece, this is the build that you want. Unless you already main a weapons platform, or you already have, Roar Subsumed on your frame, or Shock Trooper, or the other, subsumable abilities that are basically like that, but in their own respective elements, with their own respective augments that'll just, give you overall damage to coat your weapons in, whatever. I would not invest in this weapon at all. I don't know why the damage is so tiny, but if this is supposed to be a prime weapon that's supposed to be respected and special, the base damage needs to come up by a lot. Use it as MR fodder, store it away, and it's disappointing, because this gun is so cool looking, and it feels very fun to fire it. It just sucks it doesn't work right. Maybe sometime 5 years down the road, it'll get an update. But yeah, that is the video, guys. I hope this video has helped you to enjoy Warframe a little bit more, and in this case, I hope this video has saved you time and forma, because essentially, with this particular weapon, I put the investment, so that way you don't have to reach into your forma wallet. So I hope it at least saved you some time and some forma. So I hope you guys have a good day, a good night, and may RNG be in our favor.